Hi, I'm so happy you made it to the first chapter of my growth marketing introduction course. First thing that I want to talk about is how to think like a growth marketer. First question that we need to solve is, what is growth marketing? For me, growth marketing is really that process of rapid experimentation. We're not going to spend weeks or months writing a marketing plan, then execute it for another 3 to 6 weeks or months to then determine, this is actually not working. We really want to come up with very small testable ideas, which we call experiments, which we will execute over the next coming weeks. Very interesting, because this allows you to find the best way to grow your business. Another important quote from Sean Ellis is that it starts by understanding your best customers. With a lot of the techniques that you will learn in growth marketing or that you will read online in different blogs, it's super easy to target everyone. But if you're targeting everyone, you're actually aiming for no one. So I would really advise you to understand your best customers and then find out how you can acquire more of them. Another big difference between traditional and growth marketing is that traditional marketing usually focuses top of the funnel, like some awareness, making sure that people know that your new product or service, that it exists. Maybe some acquisition, usually limited by just having implemented a contact form, or maybe now during the last year they experimented a bit with webinars. What we want to do as growth marketeers is that we want to really go deep in the funnel. We want to focus a lot on the acquisition, do a lot of different experiments to really acquire someone's information, email address, phone number, whatever that we can capture at that moment. We will then also work on the activation, making sure that that person understands why he needs our business, why he needs our service, needs our products. If we're not focusing on activation, then we're just pouring money top of the funnel in a leaky bucket. It's really a bad idea to only focus on the first 2 ones and don't know what's happening afterwards. So then we focus on activation. Next one that's super important is retention. For the same reason as activation. If you don't focus on retaining your users, you're spending a lot of money on acquiring them, but they just run away after 1 week, 1 month. So we will think about experiments, how to make sure that these people stay customers. We will also think about experiments in the revenue phase. How can we make sure that current customers are spending more money? Or maybe how can we make sure that a customer that is using a freemium application, so he signed up for your product which has a free tier, how can we make sure that they convert from free to paying user? Last phase in the funnel is the referral phase. If we have loyal customers, we would like to convert them into ambassadors. We want to make sure they start talking about us and that they bring in new customers. All of this we call the pirate funnel, and this is really our holistic approach to growth marketing. Very important is that the growth marketer is in love with data. If you're not able to measure something, then we will find another way. We will find a proxy to this experiment to make sure that we can measure what is the impact of the experiment. For example, what was my cost per click? What was my cost per acquisition? How much does a lead cost me? We need to make sure that we can measure these kind of things. And once we're testing, we can maximize our learnings by implementing something called A/B testing. With A/B testing, we're going to test multiple variants of a certain experiment. Like, for example, you're sending out a newsletter. Instead of sending everyone the same newsletter, we will first send 10% version A of the newsletter, 10% version B. We will then wait for a couple of hours, see which of the newsletters has the highest open rate, and we will then send the winner to the rest of the population. It's a very simple example of A/B testing, but we try to do this continuously. We try to do this on landing pages, on Facebook ads, on all the experiments that we're running. We try to maximize our learning. To then come to the last point, we will make decisions based on data. This is very important. This also allows everyone in the growth team to have an equal voice, because in the end, it's not the person with the most experience that says, this is the way we're going to go. No, it's actually the data that will tell us what is working, what should we do next, and what should we stop with completely. Last thing is that you will most definitely fail, but it's okay. We are doing a lot of experiments. We're really in that pace of rapid experimentation, so we want to fail fast. There's only the minimal expectation that every experiment would teach us something about the channel we used, for example, Facebook, email, LinkedIn, the audience we targeted, or the messaging we used. And the messaging, for me, that's the value proposition that you're trying to push towards a specific audience, or the way you phrased it. So that was it, guys. That was the first chapter of this growth marketing introduction course. See you in the next chapter, where we'll talk about the pirate funnel and I will give you some examples per phase of the funnel. See you in the next class.